lines you will not cross and the hills that you are willing to die on is your conviction. Yes, the lines that you will not cross and the hills that you are willing to die on is your conviction. And you see, conviction is not an option. It is what you hold on. It's not what you hold on to. It is what holds you. Are you getting this? Conviction is not what you hold on to. Conviction is what holds you. Great evening, guys. Thank you so very much for joining us again on another exciting Upgrade Mastery just for you. Yes, this is the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade, and I'm super excited that you're here with us again for another exciting conversation on the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade. I beg your pardon, I said Upgrade Mastery. That was for Friday. This is Sunday, right? Friday is Upgrade Mastery just for you. Sundays is Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade. So I'm super excited that you're here with us for the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade. And you know, we do this every Sundays, basically from 7 p.m. through to 8 p.m. every Sundays. And basically get to do four interesting things that we get to do on the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade. Number one, we get to take your questions. So if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to send in your questions. We'll gladly take them. Number two, we got to share with you the Upgrade Mastery tip for the week. And for this week, the Upgrade Mastery tip is conviction. Yes, this is the Upgrade Mastery tip for the week, conviction. And this is part two. The other time we talked about conviction was sometime in 2024, August. If you go back on the YouTube channel, you probably see that conversation. But this is a continuation of that conversation we had sometime in 2024. So this is the part two of conviction in 2026, right? So a lot has changed, a lot of information we've gotten, a lot of experience we've gotten. So we feel this is the best time to talk about conviction, especially after last week when we talked about why, right? Now that you know your why, it's important that you learn how to have conviction on the why. And as we go on this conversation, you realize that when you have conviction, which is your why, you'll be able to withstand anyhow, right? So let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm going to tell you more about that as we make progress in this conversation. Now, what I want you to do right now is to share this link with your friends, your families, your loved ones, and even your enemies so that they can be part of the conversation while it is live. Although they can watch the replay later, but it's best they watch it live so that they can engage in the conversation. One of the things I love our audiences to do, not audiences, because you are family members now. One of the things I love our family members to do in this Upgrade community is to always take notes and engage with the conversation. So two things. Take notes, like get your notepad, take notes, because whatever you take note of is what you get to practice and is what makes you notable, right? So you take notes of the important information that you are getting from this conversation. And then number two, engage on the conversation, engage in the comment, engage with me on the conversation, ask your questions, share your feedback, share the things that are standing out for you, right? Engage. So two things you need to do: take notes and engage, right? Is that clear? Fantastic. So the third thing we get to do on the show is that we get to connect, network, and bond, because a lot of people join the Upgrade Life from across the globe. So we get to connect, we get to network, and we get to bond, so we can have an amazing experience together, right? And then the fourth thing that we get to do here is that we get to have fun. Yes, I'm a very strong proponent of the fact that if learning is not fun, there is no learning at all. So we get to have fun, because whatever you learn with full pleasure, you remember in full measure. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? So great. So we get to have fun while we do this. So I want you to sit back, relax, have an amazing time, because today's conversation is something that you would be glad that you are part of, and you see how it can literally change your life, knowing that you have conviction about some certain things that you are doing, right? Like I said earlier, that conviction is not an option, right? Conviction is not an option, and conviction is not what you hold on to, it is what holds you. And yet the conviction is not what you hold. Conviction is what holds you. Are you getting this? Is it making sense? So conviction is what holds you. So you need to find out, how does this hold me? How do I live a life of conviction? That's what we're going to be doing today on this conversation. And like I said, the lines you will not cross, and the hill you are willing to die on. That is your conviction. So are you ready for this conversation? If you are ready, I want you to type in the comment. Let me know that you are ready. Just type ready in the comment so I know you're ready, and then we'll begin the conversation. I'm excited about this. I don't know about you, but today it's going to be phenomenal. Today is going to be amazing, right? And today you are going to build on your conviction that you already have. Okay, so on the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade, we also like to begin with basic 5 questions. Now, these 5 questions help us to lay the foundation, right? These 5 questions help us to lay the foundation upon which every other thing will be built. Are you getting this? Upon which every other thing that we'll talk about will be built. So we lay that foundation on these 5 questions. So I'm going to begin with question number 1. And if you're just joining, thank you so much for joining. Please share this with your group. Share it with your friends, share it with your family members, share it with your loved ones, right? So that they can enjoy what you're about to enjoy, because this is something that will change your life for the better. Now, question number 1, what is conviction? When you hear the word conviction, what is it that comes to your mind? What exactly is conviction? What does conviction represent? What does it trigger in your mind? What exactly is conviction? I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you what conviction is. But tell me in the comment. What do you think conviction is? Tell me in the comment. Let's start with you, because this is us engaging, like we said. Take notes and engage. So let's start with you. When you hear the word conviction, what is it that comes to your mind? Like, okay, when you hear somebody talk about conviction, what exactly do you think they mean? What is it that it triggered in your mind when you hear conviction? I want you to tell me. When you hear the word conviction, what comes to your mind? What does it elicit in you? What comes to your mind? Tell me, what comes to your mind when you hear conviction? See this, guys. The definition I will give you is something you've never heard before. Like you say, on the upgrade side of life, our definitions are totally different from the regular definitions you get to hear. So that's why we always tell our family members to pay attention, right? We call you guys family members. That's why we always tell you to pay attention, because this is the family, right? Pay attention to the things that we share, because you'll not find them anywhere, right? Now, this is what conviction is from the upgrade side of life. Are you listening? Now, conviction, it is the belief, certainty, and truth that you are willing to act on, defend, protect, and build your life around. That is conviction. Conviction is the belief, certainty, truth you are willing to act on, defend, protect, and build your life around, and if need be, die for. That is conviction. You see, when somebody has conviction, they're saying this is the belief, the certainty, and the truth that this person has, that the person acts upon, can defend, can protect, build their life around, and willing to die for. That is conviction. So when you say you have conviction, it means that this is something that you are willing to die for. Are you getting this? Is this making sense for you? Now, the second question is simple. Who's responsible for conviction? Right? Who's responsible for conviction? The answer is simple. It's you. Right? Whether you have conviction or you lack conviction is entirely up to you. Nobody's responsible for your conviction but you. Right? Nobody's responsible for your conviction but you. Whether you believe in something or you don't believe in it is entirely up to you. So conviction is your responsibility. Are you getting this? Is this making sense to you? Conviction is your responsibility. It's totally your responsibility. Now, question number 3, right? Why conviction? Why do we have to talk about conviction? Why is conviction a conversation we should be having at this time? Why conviction? I'll tell you 3 reasons why conviction. Number 1, clarity, right? Number 2, commitment. And number 3, the cost. These are 3 simple reasons why conviction. So conviction gives you a certain level of clarity. Conviction gives you a certain level of clarity, right? You're clear about it. So it's something that you are willing to die for because of how clear you are that this is what it is for you. It gives you clarity, right? The second thing is that it gives you commitment. Because of the conviction that you have, you're 100%, in fact, 120% committed because you have conviction. So conviction gives you commitment. So you're not here today, gone tomorrow. No, you're fully committed because of your conviction. It's something that you are willing to live for and, if need be, willing to die for. So there's commitment. And then the third thing is the cost. Conviction is something that costs you in the sense that you're willing to die for this thing. You're willing to lay your life down for this thing because of the conviction that you have. That's why I told you in the opening quote, and I said that the lines that you will not cross and the hills that you're willing to die on, that is your conviction. So when it comes to conviction, it's not just what you live for, it's also what you are willing to die for. That's the cost. Are you getting this? So when you say you have conviction about something, you're saying this thing will cost me my life if need be, but I'm not going to change my stand on this thing. That's the cost of conviction. Remember when we talk about Esther, we always use this phrase, if I perish, I perish. That's the cost. And I tell people this, those who say if I perish, I perish, they never perish. Is this making sense to you right now? So 3 reasons why conviction. Number 1, clarity. Number 2, commitment. And number 3, cost. These are 3 reasons for conviction. You have clarity, you have commitment, and you have the cost. So you see, when you see people who vacillate between opinions, is proof they don't yet have conviction. Because when they have conviction, they already have clarity to a certain degree. They know the commitment they are willing to make, and they are willing to pay the cost. Are you getting this? Is this making sense to you? Right? Now, question number 4. Are you learning something already? Are you learning something this morning? Are you learning something this evening, regardless of the time you're watching this around the world? Are you learning something? Question number 4. What are the benefits of conviction? What do you stand to gain when it comes to conviction? What are the benefits? What are the benefits? I'll tell you 3 benefits of conviction. When you have conviction, 3 benefits, I'll tell you. Number 1, there is stickability. Stickability and grit. Now, when we say stickability, it means because of the conviction you have, you stick to what you have conviction on. I don't know how many of you grew up back in the day, in the 90s, and in the 90s and in the early 2000s, there's a soap called Lux. No, not Lux, Imperial Leather, right? Imperial Leather. Now, Imperial Leather used to have a sticker on the soap. Guess what? That sticker that's on the soap, that's on the bar soap itself, it sticks on the soap till the soap gets finished. It sticks on it. It had stickability. That's the same thing with your conviction. You stick to the idea. You stick to the vision. You stick to the purpose. You stick to the cause. The benefit of conviction is that it gives you stickability and grit. So when others are backing out and say, oh, they're done, they're tired, you say, no, I have conviction. We'll keep going. We'll keep doing this. I'm not going to quit. I'm not a quitter. Stickability. You stick to it. That's conviction. There's stickability and grit. Others may quit. Others may say they're throwing in the towel, but not you. You have stickability. You stick to it. You keep pushing. You keep going. You stick with it because of your conviction. Are you getting this? Is this making sense for you, right? The second benefit of conviction is that you are shameless. and unshakable. When you have conviction, you are shameless. Nothing anybody can do can make you feel shame or make you become ashamed. Like, oh, no, 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 no. You are shameless. Because of your conviction, you are shameless. You don't have any form of shame because it's your conviction. Why others may be saying, oh, I can't do this. No, it don't mean, no. Your conviction makes you shameless. Because this is something that you're willing to live for, and if need be, willing to die for. You become shameless. You know, today, you read about Nelson Mandela in history, former South African president, the guy who ensured that South Africa came out from apartheid, who went to prison for 27 years. He was in Robben Island prison for 27 years. That is shamelessness for his conviction. Even at some point, his captors, the people who put him in prison, wanted to negotiate a deal for him. And he said, no, if my people are not going to be free from apartheid, I am not going to come out from prison. He spent 27 years of his life, almost 3 decades. He was shameless about his conviction. It is an ideal that he was willing to live for, and if need be, willing to die for. Those were his words. Nelson Mandela, those were his words. Shamelessness and unshakable when you have conviction. You're shameless, you're unshakable. Nothing shakes you. And you're shameless because of your conviction. The third benefit of conviction is you are unfuckable, right? You're unfuckable. And when I say you're unfuckable, I'm saying you are in touch and at peace with yourself, that nothing anyone does or says moves you, and no negativity or drama can touch you. You are unfuckable. You are at peace and in touch with yourself, that nothing anyone says or does moves you, and no negativity or drama can touch you. Conviction makes you become unfuckable. And it also gives you passion. Right? It gives you passion because of your conviction. Are you getting this? Is this making sense to you? Let me know in the comment. Is this making sense to you, right? Are you learning something this evening, this morning, whatever time of the world you're watching this for? Are you learning something right now? So the 3 benefits of conviction. Number 1, stickability and grit. Number 2, shamelessness and unshakable. And number 3, unfuckable and passion. These are 3 benefits of conviction. Now, question number 5. When is the best time for you to have conviction? As a person, as a human, whatever thing that you're about, when is the best time for you to have conviction about that thing? When is the best time? I always say this to people: the last best time for anything was yesterday. The next best time for anything is now. Now is the best time for you to have conviction about your life, about what you believe, about what you stand for. Now is the best time for you to have conviction. You see, nothing changes your life faster like the conviction that you have. Nothing. Nothing changes your life faster like the conviction that you have. So are you ready to have conviction, guys? Are you ready? Right? Are you ready? So these are basic 5 questions, and I hope that this has been able to lay the foundation for you in this conversation. Now let's break conviction down even further for you so you can understand it even more. So let's break it down in a way that you always remember. Conviction. 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 Right? I remember this is the part 2. The part 1, we talked about it in August 2024, a while back, right? And now we're talking about the part 2. So in case you want to watch the part 1, you can go back on the channel and you just type conviction, it will pop up, and then you can watch the previous part. And this is the continuation, part 2, and they're totally different, right? They're totally different conversations. Okay, now, conviction. We already told you what it means, the definition, and we said it is the belief, certainty, and truth that you are willing to act on, defend, protect, build your life around, and if need be, die for. That's conviction. So let's break conviction down. CONVICTION, conviction. Right? Let's break it down. So if you are watching, please share this with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and even your enemies. Put it on your status. Share this right now. More people get to join, and so that they can get to learn the same way that you are learning right now. Right? Like I always say, sharing is caring. Right? Now, look at this, guys. Look at this. Pay attention to this. Right? The C in conviction, the first C in conviction is clarity. One of the things that happen to you when you have conviction is that you have a certain level of clarity, right? I tell people this, that clarity is a journey. The more you move on the journey, the more clear it becomes for you. But that initial step that you take, it begins with clarity because you understand that this is what I believe. This is what I stand for. This is what I am willing to die for if need be. You have a certain clarity. Like I told you, Nelson Mandela was in prison in Robben Island for 27 years. He had a certain clarity that going through this would help his people of South Africa to be free from apartheid regime, from their colonial masters. Are you getting this? So conviction begins with clarity. That's why Esther could say, if I perish, I perish. I will go see the king. And if I perish, I perish. Clarity. She knew what she was going to do. She knew the cost of what she was going to do. It was going to cost her life because scripture tells us that if the king does not send for you and you appear before the king can ask that you be killed. That's why she could say, if I perish, I perish. Because she had a certain level of clarity that I had to do this. She had the conviction to go ahead. Are you getting this? Is this making sense for you guys? So see this, right? The C in conviction, it starts with clarity. So when you say you have conviction about whatever it is you have conviction about, there's the certain level of clarity you have. So now let's say that you are in, I don't know why I keep using relationship because I believe that's what people can easily relate with. Let's say you are in a relationship, right? And you don't have conviction about the person you're with. It's because you don't have clarity about the person you're with. Because once you have clarity, it begins to help build the conviction that you are clear. I know where this is headed. This is not a let's see how it goes. This is leading to marriage. This is leading to a future together. So I am clear about it. Even if the immediate environment may not look like it, but I'm clear about it. So you have conviction that I'll stick with this person. I'll be committed to this person. Are you getting this? So you see how it all plays out. Once you have clarity, it's easy for you to build conviction because it starts with clarity. The O in conviction is objectivity. You're very objective. You're very objective in your conviction. Are you getting this? You're objective. So you're not saying, oh, am I going to do this? Oh, am I going to do that? No, you are objective. Are you getting this? There's the objectivity that you have when it comes to conviction. You're very objective. You know what it is that you're doing. You know what it is that it's about. You know where it's headed. You are very objective. You are not saying, oh, okay, I will do this, I'll do that. No! There's objectivity. Is this making sense for you? There's objectivity. You're objective. The O in the conviction, the first O in conviction is objectivity. You're very objective. You know where this heads. You know where this leads. You are not subjective, you are objective. Esther says, I'm going to see the king, and if I perish, I perish. Objectivity. The first N in conviction is non-negotiables. See, when you have convictions, you cannot be talked out of your conviction. If you can be talked out of your conviction, it was never a conviction. I get it. So see how it works. First, you have clarity, then you have objectivity. Now you are non-negotiable. You cannot negotiate yourself out of your conviction. Anyone who's able to convince you out of your conviction, you never had that conviction in the first place. So when someone says, I'm going to stick with you like glue, no matter what happens, the person stays because it's non-negotiable. Give him my word. Are you getting this? So conviction, the first N in conviction is non-negotiable. You see, when people can convince you out of your conviction, it was never a conviction. It was an option. I'll say that again. If someone can convince you out of your conviction, it was never a conviction. It was an option. Because with conviction, it is non-negotiable. We don't negotiate it. This is what I'm willing to live for. And if need be, I'm willing to die for. It's non-negotiable. Are you getting this? Is this making sense for you? So your conviction is non-negotiable. You don't negotiate it. You don't discuss it. It's not an option. This is what I truly believe. This is what I am willing to live for and die for. The V in conviction talks about your values. What are your priorities? What are your principles? What are the things that you live your life for? Your values. See, your convictions reflect your values. There's some things you will never do. There's some things you will not be a part of. Not because they are not good things, so to say, but because of the values that you have. Those values have formed your conviction. Those values have formed your conviction. So the V in conviction is your values. What are the things that you hold dear? Like I told you, convictions are not what you hold. Conviction is what holds you. And your convictions reveals and reflects your values. When you're doing things you ought to do, it shows that you don't have values and it shows that you lack conviction. You know, there are people who succumb to pressure. They say, oh, I was peer pressured and all of that. No. When that happens to you, it's proof that you don't have your values and you don't have your conviction. Because with your conviction, it expresses your values. So nobody can make you do what you don't want to do because you have conviction not to do it. It's your values. It goes against your values. It goes against your priorities. It goes against your principles. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Right? The I in conviction, the first I in conviction is intentional. So you see, because you have clarity, because you have objectivity, because you have non-negotiables, because you know your values, you become more intentional. You become more intentional. So conviction helps you to be intentional. You know what you have to do, when you have to do it, and you get it done. Intentionality because of your conviction. See, guys, if you look around your life right now, you will realize that some of the things that you find it difficult to do is because you don't have conviction about those things. The moment you have conviction about those things, you become intentional with those things. Because with conviction comes intentionality. Are you getting this? With conviction comes intentionality. You are intentional. The C in conviction, the second C in conviction is courage. Right? With conviction, you have courage to stand for something and if need be, to die for that thing. You know, they say that if you don't stand for something, you would fall for anything. But with conviction, you have the courage to stand for a thing and the courage to die for that thing. Are you getting this? You have the courage to stand for a thing and the courage to die for that thing. Like Nelson Mandela said while he was about to be imprisoned, he said, "This is an ideal that I'm willing to live for, and if need be, I'm willing to die for." Courage. Second C in conviction is courage. Esther says, "If I perish, I perish." Courage. And I've often told us this, that those who say, "If I perish, I perish," they never perish. They never perish. But conviction gives you that courage to hang on, the courage to keep going, the courage to be shameless, the courage to be unfuckable, the courage to be stickability, to have stickability, the courage to have grit and resilience. The courage comes with conviction. And you see this, guys, the T in conviction is that it's timely. Conviction is timely. It's now. It's now. It's not for later. It's not for tomorrow. It's not for next year. It's for now. Conviction is timely. If you have conviction about things, you'll be timely about things because of your conviction. Because conviction is timely. Conviction is timely. So the T in conviction is timely. The second I in conviction is inspires. Conviction inspires you. It inspires you. It wakens you up. It inspires you. It inspires you. You're inspired by your conviction. It puts springs in your steps. It gives you wings to fly. You're inspired by your conviction. And also it inspires others who witness your conviction. They are inspired. Now I'm telling you about Nelson Mandela now because what he did is inspiring. That conviction. He was willing to not only stand for the ideal, but also to die for it. The other O in conviction is that conviction makes you outstanding. See, you know, one of the ways for you to stand out from the crowd is to be outstanding. Right? Conviction makes you outstanding because you are different from everybody else. You're standing for what you believe. You're building your life around what you believe. You have certainty in what you believe. So you are outstanding. You're not like everybody else. You're not following the crowd. You are outstanding because of your conviction. And you know, when you're outstanding, you become the standard. Are you getting this? And finally, the last N in conviction is necessity. Believe it or not, it's of necessity that you have conviction about your life. It's of necessity that you have conviction about the things that you do. There's the necessity for conviction. Paul says in scripture that I'm fully persuaded that he that has begun this good work is able also to complete it. It's a necessity that you have conviction. It's what gives you full persuasion. Your conviction is what gives you full persuasion. So it's of necessity that you have conviction. So guys, family members, this is what conviction is. There's the clarity, there's the objectivity, there's the non-negotiable, there's the value, there's the intentional, there's the courage, there's the timely, there is inspires, there is outstanding, and there is necessity. This is conviction. And like I told you earlier, that conviction is not an option. It's not an option. It's the lines that you will not cross and the hills that you are willing to die on. And like I said, it's not what you hold, it's what holds you. It's what holds you. So, guys, this is conviction. And you see, nothing shows your non-negotiables like your conviction. Yes, nothing shows your non-negotiables, things that you will not negotiate, things that you will not give in or quit on like your conviction. Are you getting this? Nothing shows your non-negotiables like your conviction. So you see, we get to show up here every Sundays. That's our conviction, non-negotiable. Regardless of where we are in the world, we get to show up every Sunday. Non-negotiable. We're going to ensure that you are learning from the upgrade side of life. Non-negotiable. Nothing shows your non-negotiables like your conviction. Like I told you, conviction is not just what you are willing to live for. It's also what you are willing to die for. What you are willing to die for. And you see this, guys. There are three things about conviction that I want you to know. Three things about conviction that I want you to know. Number one, conviction becomes your moral compass. Right? Because of your conviction, there are certain things that you just will not do. It becomes your moral compass. What guides your life? What gives you direction for your life? It becomes a moral compass. There are things that you just cannot find yourself doing anymore because of your conviction. It becomes a moral compass for you. Are you getting this, guys? Is this making sense for you? Let me know in the comments. Are you getting this? So number one thing about conviction, and the three things about conviction, one is a moral compass for you. Your conviction ensures that there are things that you will not do, even if everybody is doing it. And you know, I often say this, that everybody is doing the wrong thing does not make it right. You know, people are always like, oh, everybody's doing it, everybody's doing it. No, listen, guys. When it comes to your conviction, everybody is doing the wrong thing does not make it right. And you alone doing the right thing does not make you wrong. So it's not about numbers. It's about your moral compass. It's about your moral compass. And conviction gives you a moral compass. The things that you live for, the things that you stand for, the things that you will never go against. It's your conviction. Everybody else can be doing the wrong thing. Does not make it right. It's not about the numbers. It's about your conviction. Number one is a moral compass. Number two is a proof of your identity. So your conviction tells us who you really are. It's the proof of your identity. Esther said, if I perish, I perish, but I will go see the king. It's a proof of your identity. The three Hebrew boys in Daniel chapter 3, they told King Nebuchadnezzar, O king, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. If the God that we serve does not deliver us, we will still not bow. A proof of your identity, conviction. The proof of your identity. Conviction is a proof of your identity. Your moral compass. Number two, it's a proof of your identity. So with your conviction, we can be able to identify you. That this one is different. This one is separate. Your conviction is proof of identity. What you stand for, what you believe in, and what you're also willing to die for. Proof of identity. Right? And then the third thing about conviction is what you live for or what you die for. You know, why this point is very critical? Because some people only see conviction from the fact of what they are willing to live for. But the truth is this, with conviction, it's not just what you are willing to live for. It's also what you are willing to die for. In fact, what you are willing to die for is as important as what you are willing to live for. So you hear about those people who were martyred. They'll tell them that renounce this or you'll be killed. And they will say, I'd rather be killed than renounce. They are saying, I'm not only willing to live for this, I'm also willing to die for this. Hey! I'm also willing to die. That's conviction. Are you getting this? I'm also willing to die for this. So it's one thing to be able to live for a thing, is another thing entirely to be able to die for that thing. Are you getting this? So conviction, the third thing about conviction is what you live for or die for. See this? There are two traits of conviction. When you see these two traits in a person, you know that this person has conviction. Two traits. Number one, principles. And number two, priorities. These are the two traits of conviction. Once you see these two traits among people, you know that these are people of conviction. You see the principles they live for, you see the priorities that they have. Those are the two traits of conviction. So you want to know whether you have conviction, it's simple. What are your principles? What are your priorities? These two things already show whether you have conviction or not. Are you getting this? So the two traits of conviction, principles, priorities. These are the two traits, nothing more. So look around your circle, look around your friends, look around the people you hang out with. What are the principles they live their life by? What are the priorities they have in their life? That will show you where their conviction lies. They can say anything they want to say, but their principles, their priorities would reveal their true conviction. Are you getting this, guys? Is this making sense? The one goal of conviction is action. The one goal of conviction is action. The reason why you have conviction is so that you can take action. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. And there she went to see the king. Action. There is no conviction without action. You say you are going to stand for something, you actually stand for it. There is no conviction without action. The goal of conviction is the action. It's the action. Are you getting this? Are you getting this, guys? The goal of conviction is action. See, the difference between surviving and thriving is conviction. There are those who are surviving, there are those who are thriving. The difference between surviving and thriving is conviction. So with conviction, you move from just surviving to thriving. And I know that you want to thrive in your life. And to thrive in your life, you need conviction. Are you getting this? Is this making sense for you? So, to move from surviving to thriving is conviction. And you see, conviction goes beyond belief. Beyond belief. I love what the three Hebrew boys said to King Nebuchadnezzar. You know, if you read that story in Daniel chapter 3, the king made a golden image and told everyone to bow to that image whenever they heard the sound of musical instruments. But these three boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they just chose not to bow because they realized that you shouldn't bow to any other god but Jehovah, the Most High. So the king was told about them, that there are three guys in the kingdom that are refusing to bow. And the king brought them over and said, okay, I've been told that you guys refuse to bow. What's the issue? And the king said, see, if you're not going to bow, I'm going to instruct that the fiery furnace that was already heated to be heated several more times. Now, let me give you a backstory of the fiery furnace. Now, it's like a big ditch where fire is being heated. They use it for like melting of iron and all of those in the furnace. All right. Now, the king instructed that that furnace be heated up 7 more times. It's already heated, but times 7. And then the king said they will be thrown into that furnace if they do not bow. Now, backstory again on that furnace. The people who heated up the furnace 7 more times, they died from the heat. They died from the heat. The ones who heated it up 7 more times, they died from the heat. Yet, these 3 Hebrew boys, they said to the king, "O king, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. Even if the God that we serve do not deliver us, we will still not bow." This is beyond belief. We will still not bow. So the God that we serve, even if it does not deliver us from this, we will not bow. Conviction is beyond belief. And the king instructed that they throw them into the furnace. And guess what? They were in the furnace. The rope they used to bind them and throw them into the furnace got burnt from the heat, but nothing touched them. And then the Lord himself was with them in the fiery furnace. They didn't see him, but the king saw him. King Nebuchadnezzar said, "Were there not 3 men that we throw into the furnace? How come there's a 4th man? Hey! How come there's a 4th man that looks like the Son of God with them in the fire?" See this, guys. Conviction is beyond belief. Conviction is a clarity of purpose. They said, "We will not bow." They were clear in their purpose. They were clear. So the reason why you seem unsure and unclear is because you don't have conviction. That's why I told you earlier, conviction starts with clarity. Once you are clear, conviction begins. It begins. And yes, clarity is a journey, but from inception, once you are clear, conviction begins. See this, guys. Conviction is a resilience foil. It fuels your resilience. You don't quit. Yes, you hit setback. Yet you hit brick wall. Yet there are things that will go wrong, but you don't quit. You don't throw in the towel. You don't quit. You have resilience foil because of your conviction. You don't quit. And then conviction gives you an action bias. No matter what happens, you're going to take action. You're going to take action. See, in a volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous world, conviction is your anchor and your compass. Do you get that? In a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world that we live in, conviction is your anchor and your compass. It's what holds you down and what gives you direction. It's your anchor and your compass. See, conviction, it fuels resilience against rejection. Yes, you may have been rejected, but with conviction, you go again. It gives you resilience against rejection. Conviction helps you attract the right people. Right? People are seeing your conviction and they are inspired. It helps you attract the right people. There's a movie, not the movie, there's a short documentary I always recommend people to watch. You can go on YouTube and you search for it, True Leader. I search for it. It's a 2 minutes video about a young boy who was on his way to school, and then there was a log of wood that fell across the road and blocked the road. And the little boy came down from the school bus, went to the log of wood and started to push it away. It didn't look like he was doing anything, but soon enough, other little kids came to join him to start pushing it. They were having fun. It didn't look like they were doing much. Soon enough, the adults around saw them. and came to join them, and eventually they moved the log away from the road. And I always tell people 3 things to learn from that video. Number 1, conviction. Number 2, cooperation. Number 3, collaboration. It began with conviction because it attracted the other cooperation, it attracted the collaboration. But it began with the little boy's conviction that I can solve this problem. I can get this log off the road. Conviction starts to help you attract talent. When people see your conviction, they are attracted to you. They are attracted to you because of the conviction they see that you have. The same way conviction attracts capital to you. I told you earlier, the Greek rendering of the word capital is capitals. And when people say they don't have capital, and it's capitals, and the meaning of capitals is sense. So when people say they don't have capital, they're actually saying they don't have sense, right? But conviction attracts capital to you because people can see that you have sense. And they attract other people that have sense to you because like attracts. Like attracts. See this, guys. Conviction is decisive decision making. Decisive in your decision making based on your conviction. I'm not looking at what anybody is saying. I'm not looking at what anybody is doing. I'm decisive in my decision making based on my conviction. Esther says, if I perish, I perish. Decisive in your decision making. And then conviction builds trust and reputation. When people know that you have conviction, they can trust you and you are reputable. It builds trust and reputation. See this, guys. Thinking is the psychological flourishing, and conviction is the bedrock of that flourishing. Did you get that? Thinking is psychological flourishing, and conviction is the bedrock of that flourishing. So conviction is the bedrock of your thinking. Conviction gives you immunity to peer pressure. So nobody can pressure you. Nobody can pressure you because you have conviction. Nobody can make you do what you don't want to do because you have conviction. It gives you immunity against peer pressure. So everybody's going to have to do it. No! Everybody is doing it, doesn't make it right. Everybody is doing it, doesn't make it right. Are you getting this? Conviction gives you immunity against peer pressure. Conviction helps you to cultivate grit. You have stickability. You have grit. And then conviction reduces your anxiety. You're not worried. Be anxious for nothing, so the scripture says. You're not worried. You don't have anxiety. You're not fretful. No, because of your conviction. You are unfuckable. You are at peace and in touch with yourself. And nothing anyone says or does moves you. And no negativity or drama can touch you. Are you getting this? And you see this, guys. Conviction, it listens, it learns, it adapts while holding on to the core truth. Conviction listens, it learns, it adapts, yet is holding on to the core truth. And the interesting thing of all of this is that conviction is not by default. It is built. No, conviction is not follow come. You don't come into the world with conviction. You build your conviction in the world. You build your conviction on your principles, on your values, on what you are willing to live for. It is built. It is built. And you see, conviction is built through a cycle of clarity, action, and proof. That's how you build conviction. Clarity, action, and proof. That's how you build conviction. You have clarity. You take action. You have proof. That's how you build conviction, guys. That's how you build conviction. And you see, you cannot think your way into conviction. You must act your way into conviction. You can't be thinking your way into conviction. No, no, you act your way into conviction. Now, when those three evil boys said, if I say that we are not careful to answer you in this matter, and God delivered them, now they have more conviction that God will always show up. So you see, you don't think your way into conviction, you act your way into conviction. You act into conviction. That's why I said the one goal of conviction is action. What shows you really have conviction is the action you are willing to take based on the conviction. So you don't think your way into conviction, you act your way into conviction. See, there's a test that I want you to carry out, a conviction test. It's called the 10-10-10 test. With conviction, will you be proud of the idea in 10 months, in 10 years, in 10 decades? Will you still be proud of that idea? It's the 10-10-10 test of conviction. That thing you're currently doing that you have conviction about, in 10 months' time, will you be proud of it? In 10 years' time, will you be proud of it? In 10 decades, will you still be proud of it? And trust me, I assure you, if you truly have conviction, in 10 months, you will still be proud. In 10 years, you will still be proud. In 10 decades, if Christ tarries, you will still be proud. And see, guys, indecision is the enemy of conviction. Indecision. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it. That indecision is the enemy of conviction. Indecision. So whenever you see yourself having indecision about anything, it's proof you don't have conviction about that thing. Because indecision is the enemy of conviction. When you have conviction, you will never have indecision because you have clarity. Are you seeing how it works? When you have conviction, you will never have indecision because you already have clarity. Are you getting this, guys? Is this making sense for you? Are you learning something? Are you learning something right now? See this. To build conviction, you must make a practice of making decisions and sticking with it. You want to build conviction, make it a practice of making decisions and sticking with those decisions. Remember, I told you that with conviction, you have stickability. You stick with it. You don't do it all today and then you go on tomorrow. You stick with it. You stick with it. You have stickability. You stick with it. You don't say, oh, I'm doing this today, then tomorrow I don't do it again. No, no, no. You stick with it. With conviction, you start to build conviction by making decisions and sticking to your decisions. You stick to your decisions. Like I told you earlier, if someone can convince you out of your conviction, it was never a conviction. It was just an option. Did you get that? Anytime anyone can convince you out of your conviction, it was never a conviction. It was just an option. Because with conviction, you make a decision and you stick to the decision. And see, building conviction is the first battle. Maintaining conviction is the war. Are you getting this? Building conviction is the first battle. Now, maintaining that conviction is the war. And you see, the word is designed to erode your conviction. The word is designed to ensure that you don't have conviction. That's how the word is designed. That you don't have conviction. That you do whatever anyone else is doing. That you don't have conviction. So he wants to erode your conviction. Like I told you, the first battle is to have conviction. The next war is to maintain your conviction. You see this, guys? Conviction says, I value your concern, but I'm committed to this path. When someone is trying to advise you and counsel you, you can let them know, because you have conviction. Say, I value your concern, but I am committed to this path. Remember, I told you when we started that conviction gives you clarity, commitment, and cost. Did you remember at the beginning? I told you conviction gives you clarity, commitment, and cost. So when somebody is trying to convince you out of your conviction, you tell the person, I value your concern, but I am committed to this path. That if I perish, I perish. But I'm committed to this path because this is where my conviction lies. I told you earlier, conviction is not just the ideal to live for, it's also the ideal to die for. See, physiology is your thinking. Your psychology is your feeling. But you see, your thinking, which is your conviction, overrides your feeling. So when it comes to conviction, it's not about how you feel. It's what you think already, what you know. It's not how you feel. We have a generation that people are always in their feelings. They're always in their feelings. See, with conviction, it's not about what you feel. It's about what you think and what you know, not your feelings. It's not your feelings. Because feelings are fickle. They are here today and gone tomorrow. It's not about what you feel. The conviction is a practice of integrity. What you believe, what you say, and what you do. It's a practice of integrity. What you believe, what you say, and what you do. If you want to know that you're a person of integrity, I see your conviction. What are the things that you believe? What are the things that you say? What are the things that you do? That's what shows that you have integrity. And that's a reflection of your conviction. What do you believe? What do you say? What do you do? Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Are you learning something right now? Are you learning something? You see, biblical examples of conviction. You know about Abraham in Romans chapter 4? Abraham, right? Romans chapter 4 tells us about Abraham that Abraham did not consider his body dead, nor the deadness of Sarah's womb. But he believed God, who quickens the dead and calls those things that be not as though they were. That's conviction. God told Abraham to change his name from Abram to Abraham. And Abraham did. Conviction. God called him at 75. Abraham had a child at 100. 25 years difference. But Abraham believed God. Conviction. We hear of Paul speaking to Timothy. Says, I'm fully persuaded that he that has begun the good work in you is able also to complete it, to perfect it unto the day of Jesus Christ. Why? Conviction. You know, in the book of Acts, when Agabus came to meet Paul and told him that this is how the owner of this gate is going to be burned, and Paul says, I'm not only willing to be burned for the gospel, I'm also willing to die for the gospel. That's why I could say in Colossians that to live is Christ but to die is gain. Conviction. It's fully persuaded. Conviction. You know why they were about to embark on that journey on ship, and Paul told the captain of the ship, there's going to be a shipwreck on this ship, but no life will be lost. Conviction, guys. Conviction. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. And I've always told us, anyone who says, if I perish, they never perish. They never perish. The 3 Hebrew boys in Daniel chapter 3, he told Nebuchadnezzar, we will not bow. Conviction, we will not bow. And even if the God that we serve does not deliver us, we will still not bow. We will not bow. You see, with conviction, you cannot think your way into a new way of activity, but you can act your way into a new way of thinking. With conviction, you cannot think your way into a new way of activity, but you can act your way into a new way of thinking. See how it works? Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Lord Jesus. See, you must tie your conviction to God. All of this I've been saying about conviction, you must tie it to God. Your conviction must solely be anchored in God. Because see, God and his promises will never fail you. So you can anchor your conviction on God. Like the 3 Hebrew boys, they anchored their conviction on God. Like Esther, she anchored her conviction on God. Like Paul, he anchored his conviction on God. Like Abraham, he anchored his conviction on God. So you must anchor your conviction on God and his promises. Because the promises of God are in him. Yes and amen. So anchor your conviction on the promises of God, not on man, because the arm of flesh would fail. Not on man. The arm of flesh would fail. Don't put your conviction on man. No. Put your conviction on God. God will never fail you. God will never disappoint you. God would never leave you. Put your conviction on God. Are you getting this? Put your conviction on God. And you see this, guys? At the core of your conviction is action. And at the core of your lack of conviction is inaction. When you have conviction, you take action. When you lack conviction, you won't take action. So at the core of conviction is action. And at the core of a lack of conviction is inaction. So when people don't take action, it's proof that they lack conviction. And when people take action, it's proof that they have conviction. So I dare ask you, do you have conviction or do you lack conviction? Which is it? Do you have conviction or do you lack conviction? See this, guys. Conviction becomes the why that helps you to withstand any how. That's it. This is it, guys. This is it. This is our conversation for today. And this conversation is on conviction. So, did you learn anything? Do you have any questions? Right? So we'll take a question or two before we call this a wrap for today. We're done. This is it, guys. This is it. Conviction becomes your why that can help you withstand any hard conviction. Here's it. Here's the conversation. Yes, conviction can also be called your belief. That's why I told you in the beginning that conviction is the belief, the certainty, and the truth that you hold on, you build your life around, you protect, you defend, and if need be, you are willing to die for. Yes, conviction can also be called your belief that you have. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. They had that belief. The 3 Hebrew boys says, we will not bow. They had that belief. So yes, conviction is the belief, the certainty, and the truth that you are willing to act on, defend, protect, build your life around, and if need be, die for. That's conviction. So yes, conviction can also be your belief. Are you getting this? Thank you for that question. Any other question, guys? Any other question, right? Any other questions? So, we always encourage you guys to, please, our family members, we encourage you to share this with your other family members, right? You are the Upgrade family members, so you share this with your other family members who are not yet Upgrade family members, so that they too can learn, so they too can become better, so they too can begin their upgrade journey for themselves. Like I always tell us, upgrade is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey. As scripture says in Proverbs 4:18, the path of the just as a shining light that shines brighter and brighter unto the perfect day. So every day you're getting better. Every day you're upgrading. So also help other people come along on the journey, so they too can be better. And they too can become all that they can be. All right. So don't enjoy this alone. Caring is sharing. So do well to share this with your friends, your family, your enemies, your loved ones. Share. Right? You just never know whose life you will be inspiring just because you share. Okay, guys. Like we always tell you, 3 things will happen for you in this new week. 3 things will happen for you in this new week. Number 1, increased voice of God. Number 2, open heavens over your life. And number 3, more angelic activities in all that you do. Yes, remember, there's always more on the upgrade side of life. And that's why we encourage you that you leave good behind so that you can upgrade. And what better way for you to upgrade than for you to have conviction about your life? Yes, you must have conviction about your life. There's no 2 ways about it. And when you do have conviction, it will reflect in all that you do. It will reflect in who you are becoming, right? So, finally, do well to turn on post notification, like, subscribe, and share, so more people get to watch this, more people get to be impacted by this simply because you shared. So like, turn on subscribe, turn on post notification so that you don't get to miss out on any of our amazing conversations. Once again, we appreciate you for sticking with us from the beginning of the conversation to the very end of the conversation. And I'm glad that you did. And I know that this would help you moving forward to become a person of conviction. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.